Foundation Fitness. We're going to start seated on a chair, a firm chair, scoot it all the way to the back. And we're going to begin with your feet together, knees together. And the ankles, we say it all the time, and I'll keep saying it because this is our foundation class. Your feet and ankles, your lower legs need to be fit as well as the rest of you. So this is your first foundation. Everything that you do from the minute you put your feet on the floor, they're the driving force in a sense. So we're just taking our feet up, out, in, and down. Up, out, in, and down, up, out. And the knees are together so that you don't do this. If you're doing that, your hips are helping, and you don't want your hips to help. Now we're going to go up, out, down, up, in, down, up, out, down, up, in. And what tends to happen is your heels will go closer and closer and closer to your chair. So you want to keep them out under your knees, not in front of your knees, but under. So you can always readjust that for sure. And please do that as needed. Up, out, down, up, in, down. You do enough of these, your lower legs, you're going to feel fatigue in those muscles. That's good. You want to work to fatigue. That means your muscles are gaining something. If your muscles never gain, you might maintain what you have, but you're not going to improve. Now we're going to hold it out and down. Knees are going to remain together. Bring your heels open to line up with your toes. So you're not pigeon-toed. You're not turned out. This is called parallel. And keep your knees together. Lift the outside edge, or the blade, of the foot. So the outer edge of your shoe comes up. Your inside ankle bones are kind of tipping in toward the floor, toward each other. Keep going. And you should feel muscle right if you put your hands, lean forward, put your hands on the outside of the lower leg. When you lift that outer edge of your shoe, of your foot, you should feel a contraction. You should feel a movement there. The muscles are contracting. And now the inside edge, the big toe side, the arch side of your foot. Knees are together, lift up, and 2, and 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, more, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maintaining all of this range of motion is super important. Let's see, bring now your feet back just a little bit, because you want the ball of your foot to be under your knee now, or slightly in front, okay? And then you're going to be, you're lifted your heels. Now you're going to point the foot to where you're like in a ballet point, and then put the ball of the foot back down. The heel is still up. I call this the stiletto exercise because the heel is so high. So you're pointing and pressing, but it's just the toes. Toes, ball of the foot. Toes, ball of the foot. Heel does not come down. And I can see you to check on that, so if you're cheating, you're only cheating yourself. And now bring the heel down, but don't adjust your feet. Wherever you land, lift your foot, lift the toes of the foot, and just hold that for a moment. And come back down. And now make sure you're still scooted way back in your chair, and you're nice and tall, you're not slouching. Take your legs out. And you want your legs to be apart a little bit. About a hip width apart, and let's point the feet, and then bring your toes together and apart. Look at your knees. Your knees remain up to the ceiling. You're not rolling in and out from the hip. Okay? Your thighs are still, everything is still except for your ankle. Your ankle, you're tapping the toes and coming back. Tapping toes, coming back. Tapping toes, coming back. Big toes are kissing. 2, 3, 4 more, 5, 6, 7, and this done from a pointed position. Now bring your legs together and stay together, except for the big toe joint. Now your big toes are not getting along and they're going out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Heels are together. 8 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now bring your legs apart again. and flex. Just hold that stretch. Now hold that stretch. Keep your feet pulled back. You should feel some stretch in the calf. And we're going to add something. You're going to pull your body forward and up, away from the back of the chair. So wherever your low back is touching the chair, you're forward and up. You're kind of arching your back. And you should have felt an immediate extra stretch. You're welcome. And bring it down. Very good. All right, take your flat band or your regular band, your long band if you have that, wrap it around, tie it. And then if you have your flat band, just put that on. So we'll take a minute to do that. No shoe removal today. Okay, so band. We're going to leave this on for now, and we're just going to come forward. This way we're already prepared for when we stand up. So now sliding forward, you're way forward on the front edge of your chair. Make sure your chair is stable enough that it's not going to tip. And you want your feet about as wide or maybe slightly wider than your own hips, your own hip bones, which are right about there. And posture is nice and tall. No slouching, no slumping. And we're going to go back, keeping that pressure out, slight pressure out. Go back and return. And back and return. And back. And as you go back, your spine is super straight. You should feel the abdomen kind of battening down the hatches to keep your spine straight and to prevent you from crashing into the back of the chair, because your body doesn't know there's something back there to catch you if you would need it. And so your muscles take over and hold you nice and straight. And back. Now, going forward and return. Again, straight spine. You're moving forward and back, and forward and back, and forward. And now we're going to go side to side. You're going to tilt. So this is not a hip hiker. This is a whole body tilt. Side, side, side. Try to keep as straight of a line as you can. 6, 7. Now we're going to combine it. So we're doing kind of a circle thing. So circle, circle. So you're hitting all of these portions. You're hitting the forward, you're hitting the side, you're hitting the back. And when I say hit, I don't mean hard. I don't mean hit anything. I mean just find those locations, connect the dots, make a great big circle. All the way around. As big as you can go without being too tippy in your chair, and keeping a nice straight spine. Come back to the center. Okay, we're going to rest the legs a little bit there. Come back in. Bring your legs up. Bring your legs open. Pointed feet. Toes in. Toes back, toes up, out, stay out as you go forward, and in, back, up, out. All right, so again, our theme of circling. Really pay attention to every portion of this. A lot of times I see people, I say ankle circles, and they go, and that's really not an ankle circle. So we're pressing forward as far as you can go. Then you're going to take your toes in as far as you can go. Then you're going to stay in while you come back as far as you can go. Pain free. And come back to the center, out and down. Now go in reverse. And hit all those points, circling the other direction. Smooth the coordinated action and bring it down. Now grab your ball. Place it between your knees. The band above your knees, on your thigh, and not pressing anywhere on or near your kneecap. Standing up, you're going to slide forward on your chair, tilt, and stand. Make sure I don't drop that. Okay, so your ball is secure between your knees. We're going to begin with rotation in of the hips, so you're pigeon-toed. And we're going to bend and squeeze, and we're going to go hips side side, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Start to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. One more time. 1, 2. So you're squeezing in on the ball. 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And rest completely as you come back up. Remember, you're pigeon-toed, you're bent a little bit, and you're squeezing in during all of this. It's a lot to keep track of. Now we're going to circle it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Still squeeze. 5, 6. Still squeeze. 7. And this, of course, is, rest a second, one of the exercises we do for the pelvic floor core, that part of the core, the center core, is the pelvic floor. We want to strengthen that. You're doing a lot with your inner thighs, which is very important for balance. Come back down, squeeze in, start circle. So we circled clockwise, now circle counterclockwise. 2, 3, 4, still squeezing. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And then, of course, remove the ball. Turn your toes out. Adjust your band if you can. Mine always rolls up. It never stays flat. I don't know why they call it a flat band. Toes are turned out slightly. I bend my knees and I go 1, 2, do it with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And again, start to the other side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Last time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. And take a breather. An extra deep breather, because you better be breathing during the whole thing, right? All right. And then finally, bend just slightly. It's a very slight bend. And we're going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go the other direction. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and try to hit all parts of the circle. 8. All right, well done. Go ahead and sit and take that band off and your ball. Now that you're sitting and you have your ball still handy, hopefully, I just put mine on my chair. We haven't done this because we haven't been in person, but let's do what we used to do. Bring your ball up just below your shoulder blades, right about the level of the bra line. Press back, keeping your spine straight, and then you're going to lift your sternum. Shoulders remain relaxed. Just lift your chest, your upper chest. Keep your neck straight so you're arching back. This is an excellent posture exercise. Now, thumbs back and reach back, 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 and up and overhead. Hold and return. All right, we haven't done that in ages. I love that one because it lifts and opens the chest, stretches the pectorals. Press back, lay back. We're going to hold that spot at a T though. I forgot to hold that. Just hold the arms in a T shape and let gravity and the weight of your arms stretch your chest, your pectorals even further, and the shoulders. And then up, 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 and return. Now a note about this exercise. When we do this, you're leaning back and you're arched back and you're holding your head still. You're not letting your head drop backward. I can't even make my head drop backward anymore because it hurts so much because I've had surgery on my neck. But I So keep your neck very straight. You want to lift your upper chest. Your neck stays in line with the rest of your spine. And just that holding, you're going to feel all the front of your throat area, your neck, working hard to hold your head up. Do not give in. Do not collapse your neck and let your head drop all the way back. That's not good for your spine, whether you have problems or not. But maintain that long neck against gravity. You'll feel the muscles in the front of your cervical spine working, and that's important. Those muscles are just as important as the ones on the back. So let's go one more time on that, and then we're going to stand up and get moving here on some other things. Ball behind the back, just below the shoulder blades. Press back, arch back, thumbs back. Come up to where you're in a T. Hold, breathe. Let the arms stretch back. And then reach them up, overhead, overhead. Arms right to ears. Keep them there as you return to the fully upright, and then lower down. Awesome job. Bring your ball down and stand. So now we're going to come back to some posture stuff. We're going to do a few things against the wall in a moment. But for now, next to your chair, or your whatever you're using, kitchen table, dining room, kitchen counters I think are excellent for this if you have a place to put your computer. So you're standing here. We're going to go back with our circle imagery here. Lift up. So your knee is about as high as your hip if you can get it there. Circle. Big circles. Remember how we talked about not cutting corners? Go the other direction. And the whole time you're standing here, this standing hip is working to hold you up and not let your hip drop. Now the whole lower leg. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We haven't done this series in a while. And reverse it. And 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7, and 8. And we're going to take a little break. Remember that when you're holding yourself on one leg, you don't want to drop. You don't want to drop this hip. Now we do that as an exercise for range of motion and strengthening all the muscles. But when you're just holding, you want to try and keep your hips level. So let's take the leg now back up. And now it's a straight leg circle. 1, 2, 3. Notice how your leg crosses the midline. And reverse, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try not to white knuckle whatever you're holding on to, and bring it down and shake it out. Now we are going to do some hip hiker work. We're going to sink, pull all the way up. 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 Sink, all the way up. Sink, all the way up. Come back to level and balance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and step out of it and shake it out. Nice job. Okay. Move over to the other side here. Got my water jug for later. Okay, so same thing. You're just going to lift up and circle the ankle, maintaining that level hip. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can never do enough with your feet or ankles. 7, 8. Full lower leg. So this is like you're stirring the pot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and come down and shake it out. Because this side begins to get fatigued, and take the leg out and circle 1, 2. Now you may find it harder on one side than the other to maintain a still rest of your body, you know? You might want to feel you have to wiggle around more on one side. Try not to. That's part of your core training. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shake that out. Okay. And now we're going to come up and sink all the way up 2, all the way up 3, all the way up 4, all the way up and all the way down, okay? And one more, I believe. And then from here, come back to level and balance. 2, 3, 4, no sinking. 6, 7, 8, and step out of it and shake it out. Very nice. Now bring your, get something heavy that you can, I have my half a gallon of water here, which is about 4 pounds, I believe. If you have weights, great, use them. If you don't have weights, grab your orange juice or your milk or whatever you have, something kind of heavy-ish that you can hold on to. And what we're going to do next is, step forward on your right. So you have a very wide stance, okay? You have one foot in front of the other, and we're going to go down into a lunge, and we're going to hold this out, however works for you. So you're going to hold your weights out. Now let's start with the mid. Bring your weight up to your chest, and you're going to bend and you're going to rotate. So you're rotating your torso like a cylinder on top of your hips. Your whole torso, shoulders to hips, just rotates. And you're going to rotate toward the front leg. And 8. Now, we're going to come back and go into your lunge. Okay, so try to, if you want to keep both feet flat, you can, but you're just going to bend and hold and bring your arms forward and rotate without doing anything with your legs. And 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then, if you feel like you can control it with the weight forward, you can also go somewhere in the middle. You don't have to go all the way forward, but you can move it further. The further away you move your weight, whatever you have, the harder it's going to be. So however far, challenge yourself, however far you feel comfortable, and we're going to bend and rotate and come back. If the bending and rotating is too much and you're losing your balance, do not do it. Just be stationary with the legs and rotate the spine. Try to stay in a bent knee, slight bent knee though, okay? But the full work in the end is bending and rotating. And coming back, one more. And then push forward, other side. Left in front, holding the weights right in front of your chest. Bend. As you do this split squat lunge, the back calf, you should feel a stretch when you bend and your feet stay flat. And all we're going to do is rotate and return. Rotate and return. So this is phase 1. And this is 4, 5. Just keeping the weight close to the chest. 6 and 7. And let's do this. Let's go all the way out for just moving the arms. And 2. Well, it's not just the arms, it's your whole torso, remember? You're rotating like a cylinder over your hips. 3, what was that? I've lost count now. I think that's 6. So your whole torso is turning, hips are turning. It's not just your arms going back and forth. My hips are turning. And of course, you're only going to turn as far as your hip structure and range of motion allows you to go. So you're not forcing. Please don't force. Now we're going to do somewhere in between and do the bending and the return. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. And remember to stop right at the center. 6, you're rotating and coming right back to center. 7. Don't over-rotate back out to the other side. 8. Let's do 2 more, because I think we might have gone over the 8 on the first side. Never hurts. And come forward, push forward, and return. Okay. Now, find a piece of wall somewhere that you can go up to, and put your heels about 6 inches, 5, 6 inches in front of it. Stand nice and tall, and you're going to just move your hands behind you until you tap the wall with the flat of your hand. Now, the way that looks is like this. When you're reaching behind you, you have to lift your chest, open your chest. You have to stretch the front of the shoulder and the arm of the chest. So this is another posture exercise. And the wall behind you, and be 6 feet, good luck with that. Be about 6 inches away from the wall, 5 or 6, so that you have somewhere to move your arms back to. Okay, that's pretty much going to be a full extension. You don't need to go much more than that because the effect is already there of lifting and opening the chest, stretching the front of the shoulder, pectorals, holding it and breathing deeply. And keep your shoulders down. And release. And do a few more. So we're going to just tap and release, tap and release, tap and release. On the next one, tap it and hold it. So you're just maintaining that. Breathing deeply in and out. Check your shoulders. If they're climbing up to your ears, stop it. Put them back down. Rest if you need to. And release. And shake that out. If you want to give that a little more oomph, if you're doing that and you're like, what's that for? That's no big deal. I can do that in my sleep. A, good for you. And B, because it might be really easy for some people to do that. I feel it when I hold it especially. Even though I can move there really well, holding it seems a little bit tiring. Put your band on the front of your thighs with your hands right by your thighs and push back. And 2. So you're still tapping. I'm still about 5, 6 inches away. And I'm moving my hand back and I'm tapping my fingers. I have to hold on to the band, so I can't really flat hand the wall, but my fingertips are touching the wall. If I try and touch my heel of my hand to the wall, I'm working harder. And now I'm also contracting my triceps a whole lot more. So that little bit of band work, and I'm only using a light band, I'm not using a heavy one, it really increases it. But you want to be careful not to round while you're doing this, okay? You can't do it this way, you're not going to get a benefit. So you have to stay tall and still do the work of lifting and opening the chest. But you're just adding that resistance, okay? A little bit of resistance. What else are we going to do today? Oh, yes. Go ahead and sit back down with your band. If you don't have a band, you can do it with nothing, or you can grab a couple of 2-pound or 1-pound rice bags, bean bags, and you're going to lift up on this V shape. It's another posture exercise. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and these are really nice to do. You know, like I always say, just, you know, commercial calisthenics. You know, if there's a commercial and there's a piece of wall somewhere, stand in front of it and reach back, just to open and strengthen the upper back and stretch the chest. Or if you have a band handy, my husband has a tube with handles in a little basket under the table next to his lazy boy, and he takes it out and puts it under his feet, you know, in full recline mode, and bicep curls, and I'm gonna take it though, because right now that's about all he's doing other than working. His job is pretty stressful, physically. One more, and let's one real quick stretch. So we work the upper back, we work all this whole area. So we're gonna stretch this like so, and release. Stretch, round, and release. Now watch this extra thing. I'm gonna reach around, and then I'm gonna kind of send one shoulder forward and one back. And I really get a great stretch in that upper back between the shoulder blades. Try that. I'll turn this way so you can see it. I'm round, and then I go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it's kind of a weird stretch. And then pull, flip this way, and go back, and shake that out. All right. Thank you so much for joining me for another Foundation Fitness